I'm going to run you through why setting goals is bad for you. Controversial statement, I know. I set goals. I've got a goal on the screen. But hear me out. Let me talk. And there's one other little golden nugget that changed my life completely last week. And I'm going to run you through that. First off, let's go into why goals are not the thing you should be focusing on. There's another source that's so much more powerful that nobody's really tapping into or talking about. So let's go into it. Now, I'm a big believer in thinking time. And Max Pearson kind of influenced this idea onto me. And now every night before I go to bed, I journal, I do my gratitude, I do all of these positive affirmation things that, yeah, people can say is like, it's kind of like woo-woo, they don't believe in it. Personally, I do, because I only started doing it last week, and the benefits, man, it's incredible. I did this in like a thinking session where I was just breaking down, okay, how can I get to my goal? And what is my goal right now, you may ask? Now, I remember at one point, this was to build a marketing agency that did $10,000 in revenue. And if any of you saw my recent post on Facebook, I put it on my story, October 22nd, 2022, I snapped myself. I took a picture and said, 1 year today, I'll be making 10 grand a month. And we're not even a year in. That's been like 9 months and I'm at $10,000 a month. Well, I'm at more than that now, but life's crazy for a start. And when you start to realize these things and you look back on these moments in time, I had a video January 1st where I'm walking home from just like a New Year party kind of thing. And I was like, the whole family kind of like doesn't believe in me. They think I'm a bum. I left my apprenticeship that was amazing, as everybody said. They were so proud that I got this amazing apprenticeship that was life-changing, and I'd be on 40 grand a month by the time I was 27. And I was like, I don't want that. I left the apprenticeship, and that's when everyone was like, you're messing your life up, you're ruining it. But you follow the vision, and life gets pretty crazy when you realize you quite literally are the source of your future. You can predict the future and speak reality into existence. Call me crazy all you want. I've lived it and believed it now. And when you do that, life becomes pretty powerful. When you realize whatever you tell yourself, if you put in the right amount of action and you have that law of attraction, because it's at top of mind all the time, it will happen. Because I know this is the next goal I'll hit, and you can call me crazy, but I'll be popping up on this video replaying this exact moment in time for when I hit $100,000 a month, because it's going to happen, because the belief's way too strong. It's the only thing that's in the top of my mind all the time, as it was with 10 grand a month. Now 100 grand a month's going to happen without a doubt in my mind. I know it's going to happen, and I know I am going to be one of the youngest people out of my hometown, if not the youngest, making 6 figures a month. And that's a fantastic thing to achieve. But we're not necessarily talking about goals here. We're talking about why you shouldn't be focusing on goals and why there's other factors that go into it that are more important. So I just asked myself a couple of questions in this thinking session. What is the long-term goal in this category of my life? To build a marketing agency that turns over $100,000 a month in revenue. Then I asked, what are the needle-moving actions that get me towards this desired state? It's all well and good saying that and then messing around with a website and a logo. You know, it takes responsibility to just ask yourself, bullshit aside, what things are actually going to move the needle in my life to get there? Setting and taking sales calls on a daily basis to improve my sales skills, which I've seen just looking at old sales calls that has been massive. The improvements in my sales ability has been incredible. Improving my overall product by testing out new acquisition strategies for my clients. Hiring and managing a team of people to improve my leadership skills. So this is my main focus now. 0 to 10k a month is like, yeah, you're like a solopreneur. You don't really need anybody helping you out. I feel like 10 to 100, okay, you've got to learn how to lead, how to manage, and that's where the real skills come in. And you've got to learn how to manage impulses and not make emotional decisions, because it's not just your head it falls on. Then you've got a team. You put dinner on the table for their families. You've got to keep them at top of mind as well when you're making these decisions. Recording and posting content on social media to build a personal brand, which I'm doing right now as we speak. I want to quite literally speak everything into existence so I can look back when I've made millions and millions of dollars and I've become successful and I've basically achieved what I set out to achieve, knowing damn right that I knew I was going to get there even at this age now. In years to come, I'm speaking everything that I believe in into existence is going to happen. Creating SOPs and systems that allow me to hire out roles and tasks with ease, and surrounding myself with 6, 7 and 8 figure individuals. I've got Agency Lab, I've got Easy Grow, I've got all these communities that are going to help me surround myself with these people, including people that comment on these videos that I can connect with on Instagram. Then I asked myself, and this is what I want you to focus on. This is what has helped me, because the brain subconsciously is so much better at finding problems than it is at finding solutions. And what I mean by that is, I asked myself, what are the things to avoid that will push me away from this desired state? And these things flowed out of me so much quicker, because I think all of us know deep down what we need to do to get to where we want to get to. It's just a scary thing to think about. So for me, it was going to parties on the weekend and getting drunk with a bunch of lowlives. Now, not everybody I go out with is lowlives. I still speak to some of those people on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and they're great people. We just don't necessarily align with values and goals anymore, because maybe I want more than than them, and that's okay. If they want to live in 9 to 5 and things like that, that's okay. Personally, for me, that's not what I want to do. 2, scrolling through social media for hours and hours every day. And 3, surrounding myself with closed-minded people. Now, drug orientated, it's because a lot of people in my local area, drugs is a very big thing, and it's very easy to get sapped into that, to get pulled in with those people, and then it's classed as normal. So I just want to make sure that I can stay away from that so I don't slip into any bad habits. Now, don't get me wrong, I still go and have the occasional social drink with friends and family. I believe that balance is important, and when I first started I didn't, and it did get me to 10 grand a month, cutting everybody off. But now I've realised that the goals aren't really what fulfill you and make you feel content and joyful. It's actually the process of getting to those goals that's enjoyable. So now 100k a month is my next goal, and I'm enjoying and loving the process because I've got so much gratitude for my life now. I don't want to complain about anything. I just want to be happy and content, and not content but joyful. I think that content is the wrong word. I don't ever want to be content. And why do I feel this is an important goal to commit my life to achieving? Building a business has been a burning desire of mine since I was around 13 years old. I knew I was different, and this is putting my thoughts and desires into documented proof and action. This is about me proving me right and getting the attention and respect from the people around me for achieving what most people class as impossible. I can sit here and say I'm doing it for freedom, which is 100% true. I want to be able to travel the world and provide for my family, but there is that dark desire to just naturally be better than people around me. Okay, let's get into what is the plan I'm going to put in place in order to achieve this desired state. It's all well and good setting goals. It's easy to set goals. It doesn't require effort to set goals. It requires effort to put a plan into action that makes sense as to how you're going to get there. Let's go into the numbers first. So the goal is $100,000 a month. Let's say, hypothetically speaking, I'm selling $1,000 a month. 3 months is $3,000 retainer. Now, I want to sell for $2,000 a month. Some of them end up going to $1,000 if they're quite broke, but I'm saying worst case, if I was to sell at 3 grand for 3 months, and my sales conversion rate, if I was to sell at 3 grand for 3 months, this is the metrics I'm going to get. Now, my sales conversion rate is actually really good. I would like to say at the minute, my sales is quite dialed in. It's not really a bottleneck as such. So my conversion rate, if I find somebody that's a good fit, is around 40%. Now, my good fit rate is also low. Usually the good fit rate is around 70 to 80%, but my good fit rate now is around 40%. And the reason that is because I'm getting a bunch of clinics coming in that are really low quality clinics that aren't really making 5-10 grand a month, and they aren't my ideal prospect. Now, these metrics do need updating because I've put a lot of things in place. So my good fit rate is a lot higher. My conversion rate is lower now because I've got a bunch of a good fit bookings coming in, and my show up rate is also higher. But this was about a month ago before I implemented all these new strategies in terms of marketing and acquisition for my agency. Now, my show up rate was around 60% at the time. It's about 80 to 90% now because I put new things in place. I've got better quality leads. Everything's working better. But in this scenario, my cost per booking was so much cheaper. Cost per booking now is probably about $50, $25 here, but I would rather have one conversation with a clinic making 30 grand a month that is actively looking for marketing than a clinic that's never ran an ad in their life and they make 3 grand a month, and have 2 of those conversations. So, it's just dependent on how much you value your time. So if I'm reverse engineering these goals, I'm making 3 grand from one client in an ideal world, considering that I'm pitching them on the lowest tier that I'll go down to, and they stay for 3 months minimum. That means I need 33 clients, which means I also need 83 good fit calls, 138 show-ups required, therefore 345 bookings required. Please keep in mind that the amount of bookings required will probably be less because my sales conversion rate is increasing and my show-up rate is increasing, but now I'm going to need more show-ups because my conversion rate is lower because I'm getting a lot more high quality leads coming in. It's not just a bunch of conversations with a bunch of people that aren't good fits. I'm also going to need less good fit calls because nearly everybody's a good fit now. Okay, so if my cost per booking on average is $25, that means if I spend 11.5k, it's going to equate to around 345 scheduled appointments. Now, I'm spending $100 a day on ads, which equates to around 3 grand throughout the month. If the math is correct, and this was talking a few months ago before my metrics updated, within 4.5 months I'd be able to get to this point. That's not taking into consideration if clients leave before 3 months, chargebacks, disputes, all of that's going to happen. I'm fully aware of that, but this is like a ballpark plan as to how I'm going to get there, breaking down the figures. And I recommend anybody that seriously wants to do this should do this. And then I've got the machine, as I like to call it, the machine as to how my agency works, how I set appointments, organic, Instagram, Facebook, paid ads, weekly goal of bookings. If they're all good fits, 15 good fit calls a week, I should be able to close 3 clients additional every every week, which will be a minimum of $3,000 every month recurring added on top of my MRR already. So I get them in, they sign the agreement, and then I have a bunch of expectations and retention frameworks that I'm currently putting in place to put this plan into action as such. Bit of a tangent on the video, hope you enjoyed it, but this is me basically saying, look, don't focus so much on the goal, focus on so much on the machine that you can put in place and the plan that's going to get you to that goal. Don't focus and glorify the goal and then just wish and hope you're going to get there. Put a plan in place and focus more so on the problems that you might face, the person you don't want to be, because the brain is very good at finding problems and not so good at finding solutions. Thank you for getting to the end of the video, and if you don't have Go High Level already, I've got a 30-day trial affiliate link. I get a 40% commission if you go through it. So if you do, I appreciate it. If you don't, I don't really care. But it's in the link in the description. See you later, guys. Take care.